Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Big Homies Breakdown. I'm your host, the Big Homie Sean, and tonight feels a little different. Not in a bad way, it's in a real way, because sometimes life in this community will test you, it'll stretch you, it'll challenge you, and it'll make you look at yourself in ways you've never expected. But there's the thing. Growth doesn't come from when everything runs smooth. It comes from pressure, from mistakes, from moments where you got to stand up, refocus, and decide who you're really going to be. And me, I'm choosing to move forward. I'm choosing to build. I'm choosing to keep this platform what it was always meant to be about. Real talk, real people, real passion, real animals. Because at the end of the day, this ain't about noise. This is about the love of the animals. So, the grind behind the scenes, the people putting in the work, that's all things that nobody's watching. And we're here to highlight some of that. And if we're here to highlight some of that, uh, one of the hardest working guys in the game right now is Adam from Proper Royals. And he's going to be our guest tonight. And it's going to be a great show. I've been dying to have this guy on the show for quite some time now. And without any further ado, I'm going to bring him out on stage. I guess my dog escaped the room. Hey, Adam, how you doing, man?
What's going on, Sean? How are you tonight, man?
I am doing great, man. Thanks for coming on, man. Thank you for your time.
My
Uh,
pleasure. I got to compliment the AI design brought all my hair back, man. Look at me. I got
yeah,
hair
man.
like I was
Hey, look, I
19,
told
man.
him to. I told him to clean you up a little bit.
Nice work, man. Next
Yeah, man, thank you.
I need a little meat on the guns, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, man. Hey, we could do that for you too. So, how you doing tonight, man? How's your
Uh
Saturday been so far?
I'm good. I'm good. I went through it was funny, not funny, but apropos on that intro, man. My power went out at the facility today. Had to break out the generator. Plans changed. My Saturday got eaten up, and that's kind of how life goes. You know, something happens. You gotta answer to it, or just sit there and let it run you over. And it's not going to run me over. So, but I'm happy to be here. Saturday night, little vino, little snake hangout. Why not, right?
There you go, man. Why not, man? So, for those that might not know you, Adam, would you mind introducing yourself to everybody here?
Sure. My name's Adam Shira. I've the breeder, the one man show behind Proper Royals. I do breed ball pythons. I do it very nearly full time. I left restaurants. May is 5 years, so it was May of 2021. I left restaurant hospitality management. I do still consult, so I can't say, I'm only snakes and I'm making a fortune. That's not true. But snakes, rodents, restaurant consulting, and I I do work. I mean, I do the grind, and I enjoy it, and I'm thankful for it every day. I'd rather deal with the power going out today and being happy in my own place than the world falling down and me being the only one that cares about it. It's somebody else's business. You know what I mean? So I'm happy and thankful every day. So I appreciate it. And yeah, you can find me on Instagram is probably the best place, but Facebook, TikTok, Palm Street, Morph Market, YouTube. YouTube's pretty good. YouTube and Instagram are where I put
Yeah,
my most
YouTube
effort.
is really good. Not pretty good.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, when did all this kind of click for you? When you're like, man, this is something I'm going to do full time, I think.
Um, in some ways it's still clicking. Like it's still like even today I had this moment of like, man, I'm getting there. I'm almost there. And I know that other people are like, holy cow, this guy has made it, which I don't feel like I have, but I realize that everything's relative. So like I still have goals that I still want to achieve. And there's days I still don't feel like I know what I'm doing or where I'm going. And then I also look back, or some days I'm just tired. I just sit on the floor in the facility and look around and take a moment and be thankful. But realistically, my first my first clutches coincided with kind of the end of COVID, and different than a lot of like COVID era breeders. My leverage was that I wanted to leave restaurants and I wanted to leave that grind of that hospitality. It had been 26 years. My son was growing up. He was 9 years old at the time. And it kind of clicked one day. I was like, man, my son, if 18 is when somebody becomes an adult in the United States, I was like, he's halfway to being an adult. And I haven't seen a 4th of July fireworks with him, because 4th of July is always our biggest holiday and the busiest time at a resort destination. Or, Thanksgiving, I gotta feed 500 other people before I get to come home and feed my own family on Thanksgiving. So things like that, where I was like, I got to do something else. So, like I say, I started the consulting business. I stepped out of restaurant operations. And that was a huge leap and scary as can be. The ball,
Oh, yeah.
the ball pythons were going pretty well. And then like my first clutches came, and they were these cool banana combos, just two of them, just two clutches. And they sold like instantly. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, man. This is something here. And I did pretty well. Not like some of the numbers you hear other people doing, but I did okay. And so I was like, I knew that there was one of the other goals from the COVID era, was not related to ball pythons, was I wanted to figure out social media. The company I worked for was still spending like 6 figures a year on billboards on interstates to advertise a golf course or weddings. And I was like, for 6 figures a year, you could pinpoint to the person 100,000 people that you wanted to see your ad, and you would know they were into golf, or you would know that they were going to get married, or you would know, what I mean? Like we weren't using that stuff. And I was like, COVID is when I'm going to figure this out. And that was one of the genesis moments of starting my podcast, of really diving into YouTube and just going, I don't care how dumb or stupid I look. Like my first videos are still there. You guys could go watch them. Just sort it by date and go to the first one.
Everybody's first videos are still there, man.
Right.
And I'm learning this thing, so
yeah. So
video rough.
But that's how you learn. You go do the reps. You didn't like the greatest, I don't know, place kicker in the world. He didn't make his, or she, whoever it is, they didn't make their first field goal or their first shot on goal. You keep doing it. There's a reason Steph Curry still takes, 500 free throws or jump shots a day.
It's just muscle memory at this point. He doesn't even have to look at the hoop. He just has all the form down.
Right.
Muscle memory.
But he still does it. He still does, like, his daily routine workout is still hundreds and hundreds of jump shots. And so, it was all of those things. There wasn't really because like I say, I still haven't said, all right, I'm going to abandon consulting altogether. I still kind of hedge my bet of having something else out there that I can rely upon and turn to. Like, it actually refreshes me. Like if I get burned out on snakes, I'm just like, all right, let me go find another consulting client. And after like 2 days, I'm like, snakes are heaven. This is great. I'm back, man. It's good, or rodents or whatever. So there you go. That's kind of the, what made it click or what is still clicking, I guess.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, what are your main projects that you work with?
Still, again, kind of trying to sort that out, but one definite answer is super gravel. I don't know if I think this guy has slowed down a little bit. If not, maybe stepped all the way back, although I don't think so. But there's a guy that everybody should know named John Daig. And gosh, I can't now. I'm saying everybody should know. I think it's just JD Constriction was his brand, or is his brand, and all of his stuff is axanthic. It's all axanthic.
Yeah.
And I was really blown away. Like there was a long time that he was really just known as the axanthic guy, and his table looked wildly different from any other table in the room because it was all axanthic. And when I stumbled across Super Gravel, first I thought it was incredibly cool. This is probably 3 to 4 years ago. I had this aha moment where like it looked really cool. Not a whole lot of people were working with it. More people are now. There's cool stuff coming up now. But then I looked at like what had been done, and there wasn't much that had been done. And then I thought to myself, what would super gravel look like in clown? I looked that up. Amazing. What would
Mm,
super gravel and axanthic look like? I didn't think it existed at the time, but I envisioned it and I was like, that's incredible. It has since been done in axanthic. Okay. Ultramel. Chris Hernan did some in a super gravel and ultramel. Looks amazing. What about super gravel, ultramel clown? I could do it that way. All of those sorts of things. So I was like, I had this vision, like, what if my table was like the super gravel version of John Daig's Axanthic? And that became kind of like my guiding light and my North Star. So I still love Ultramel clowns. So I like working those, but I'll work towards Ultramel super gravel clowns. I do like pieds, but I don't really care for super gravel and pieds. So I have Ultramel pied stuff going. I've got some Grail stuff going, Dreamsicle stuff going. So I do like pieds. And then bananas are cool, but eventually that can go into super gravel.
Hey, when I first met you, it was because you had a banana clown on your table with Tingley, and they had you over there by the coffee shop. I was like, dude, what is going on here, man? They got you all the way tucked up.
I'll tell you, man, hey, we got to get to that. That's a fun story because actually I think there's good, like that was a really special moment for me, even though it seemed like it wasn't a good, yeah. It was all the way up front. It also was on the way to the line of the bathroom was the closest. I mean, it was like what could have been the worst table at Tinley, but it's a good story. But so I don't know. And then I think like I've got some I got just a little dabble in monsoon going. I got some rainbow stuff for the future. So we'll see how that stuff plays out. But really kind of super gravel is where I have like my deepest sort of fingerprints and claws into, you know.
Yeah, I love that's the part of the Yellow Belly complex, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
So yeah, the like I like what Yellow Belly does, but super gravel, you don't have to worry about white snakes. And then, you
yeah.
know, asphalt people say that asphalt's the coolest, gravel people say gravel's the coolest. It's a cool
I
complex
think
and
they're
it's all
both.
cool. Yeah, exactly. They are cool, man.
So yeah, because I work a lot of super stripe stuff with the Yellow Belly Inspector,
Right.
but
There
I've
you go.
got asphalt because I love super asphalt. Kind of like you were talking about the super gravel. I'm like, yeah, dude, eat this up.
Yeah, no, you could do it's
You
the
know,
same thing. Yeah.
I love it.
And so little has been done. I mean, what about clown axanthic super gravel? I mean, it's going to be just, and then that's we're not even talking about the codoms on top, you know. So like there's so much opportunity out there with gravel right now. I love it.
There's a lot of opportunity with a lot of genes out there right now that I don't think enough people are jumping on top of. They kind of want to stick with what everybody else is doing. And then there's all these little sleeper genes that nobody quite gets on top of, like super gravel, and now people are starting to work with it a little more.
I think
And
there's I think there's like a natural fear, which is okay. That if you don't work something that everybody doesn't already love, there's a big risk in that, right? Like we know any project takes years and a lot of money to work, even if you're getting deals and values. So we kind of fear that because we want to love this and we want to be successful at it. But then what if nobody likes it? But what I have found and what I can tell people, and I'm a firm believer in this, if it's a beautiful animal and you're passionate about it, you're going to be able to sell it. And all this that we hear about the market's amazing or the market's tough or the market, whatever, who cares about the market? How many snakes are not you personally, but you as the audience going to make this year? 30, 100, 200, 500? You don't need the whole market. You need 30, 100, or 500 buyers. That's what you have to focus on. And I guarantee you, if you're passionate about it and you leverage the power of social media or AI like you're doing, or just get out there and shake hands and be accessible at a show and they're beautiful animals, you're going to do better than somebody going, I've got X, Y, and Z gene, and this is blowing up, and this is the most popular thing. It might work. I don't know. I don't know that model though, but I could tell you, like, if you're passionate about it and they're eye-catching animals and you're a good person, you're going to do okay. I think. I don't, maybe not quit job kind of deal, but you're going to do okay.
don't quit your day job, man.
I still haven't totally quit mine. I want to, but like I say, I like coming back to it though too. I still it lets me keep both feet in the ponds, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. So you ever like maybe when you first started or whatever have a project just kind of just take a dump all over the place? You're like, oh, this is a wreck.
Yeah, like I love the results I've seen of acid and confusion.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money early on an acid het clown. I had him paired up to a lot of clowns and het clowns. I bought some other acids. They I never got that one to breed. When I moved, it got sick. I don't know if it was stress. I don't know if it caught something on the way. When I moved from Florida to Minnesota, it passed away. I still own a few acids that or confusions that I don't know if they're the same or not, but that I really love, and I've yet to ever produce one, man. 5 years in, and I've had one in my collection, except for my first. So for 4 breeding seasons, for 4 years breeding now, I've had an acid in my collection. Clearly they're fine, they're viable. People produce them all over the place. I haven't, and I'm like, screw it, I'm out. And then I'll see another one where I'm like, that's amazing. I got to get it. And I'll buy it again. And I'll buy it. I'm like, okay, it's a fresh start. It's a new one. And I'll buy it. So like right now in my possession, probably the most loaded high-end animal I've ever owned. It's acid, um, black pastel, leopard, hurricane, visual
Mm,
clown. And then I sent the shed test in for to phenome for a panel, and
mm-hmm.
it came back het monsoon out of the blue. So all those genes, visual clown, het monsoon. This boy's 2 years old. He weighs like 800 grams, 900 grams, all like perfect things. I've not seen him
Oh,
lock once, and I've got him slated like through the year with like 12
what all
females.
what all have you tried to do to entice them? Have you tried like popping the sperm plug and putting a little on the lady's back there or
No, I don't. I haven't. Maybe I should. I do have a backup het monsoon that also has done nothing.
yeah.
But they're first time breeders, and like I have I should try some of the stuff. Like I've heard of, taking them on car rides helps, putting them in, and I've put them into an even
Car
smaller
ride helps
tub.
everything.
Yeah. So I need
Have you ever
to,
put another male shed in the tub? A
no,
fresh shed from another male will get your male to lock quick.
that's what I mean. I should do that stuff. I need to. Maybe I'm slacking. Maybe I need to start. What I've gotten to though is what I realized so this year I'm pairing a little bit over 50 females, which is a big number. If actually I think it's closer to 60, but if 35 or 40 of them go, that's going to be a lot of clutches for me. That's a big number for me. Um,
That
but
is, dude. That's a lot of baby rats you got to get ready to produce.
yeah, but it also helps me in saying if something doesn't go, I have, 55 others that I'm really excited about. So I don't really get caught. I get very caught up in what the process is. The process for me is at, X millimeters, I'm going to pair. I pair on Wednesdays. I separate on Saturdays. I feed on Monday. They get, they rest on Tuesday. I pair again on Wednesday. So I kind of keep up. I'm a real process driven and systems guy. And so I focus on the process. I try and do all the little things right. And then I'll let it be. So, you know, I should think outside of that box, but I get so like blinders on in that box that I'm not like, you know what? When I separate them on Sunday this week, I need to take them for a ride kind of deal. I just don't think that way. And I should. It's a limitation on my own. But yeah, I might throw in a shed. I might give that a shot. The sperm plug thing, I do think it would work. I just don't want to take the sperm, and I think it's actually like called a casing instead of a. I think it's a hemipene casing versus an actual sperm plug, but it's the same thing we're talking about. I don't want that to interfere with that male breeding, like the one that I take it off of. Like my males that are producing the casings or sperm plugs or whatever, I've got plans for them, so I don't want to mess them up. So I just left them alone. But like I say, I'm just super process driven, and if it's next year that they go, it's next year that they go. It's not.
Yeah, I've even heard of people putting a male snake in a bag, closing the bag, and putting your breeder in there, and then he's like, "No, this is mine."
That's correct. Yeah, I've heard that too. So like, there's things I could try. I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't felt like the desperation. Now, if I were at a place where I had 3 males and I had 15 females and one of the males wasn't going, that'd be a whole different story.
Yeah,
Like I say, there's going to be hits and misses. Of course, it's some of the ones that I look most forward to, but uh, things come and go. There's ups and downs. I think you hear like sports guys talk about like don't get too caught up on the highs and don't get stuck in the lows. Like there's going to be things. Just stick with the process, trust it, and know that it works. If you're tweaking something, tweak the process rather than the individual. So that's just what works for me. But I'm not above taking this banger of a male on a little car ride or throwing a different shed in there. That's for sure, man.
man. What are you sipping on over there, Adam?
Let me think tonight. Oh, this is a Cabernet from Washington, Chateau Ste. Michelle, and a vineyard called Indian Wells. I really like this wine, and it's like $14 a bottle. Really delivers bang for its buck. Washington Cabernets, hidden gems of American winemaking.
That's outstanding. So, what's a mistake that from a business, it's a mistake you see some of these newer breeders that make uh, as they're coming up?
Um, I'm always hesitant to criticize people because we all got to find our way and we all have our own challenges. So let me start by saying a resource I might have, somebody else might not have, or resources that I saw other people having, I don't have. I have very good friends that when they started, they invested 100 grand and built a facility and bought some exceptionally high end animals. That has never been an option for me and probably never will be. So we can't get the mistake I see is getting caught in the comparison trap. What's somebody else doing? Oh, I
Mm,
can't do that. Or they're ahead of me. So what? They're in their own.
yep.
They're half a country away. They're in a different state. There's if you go to a reptile show and look around the room, it is the widest range of people. There's an appetite for every flavor. For every person that isn't interested in that person that you think is doing better than you, they could be interested in you, and vice versa. There's going to be buyers
100%.
that click with me that don't click with other people. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so it's hard because in the world of social media, all we do is get shown banger after banger. What shows up on our feeds? The things with the most likes. What gets the most likes? The most amazing stuff. And we start to think everybody is just doing this amazing stuff and we're doing junk. And that's not the case. What combats that is being happy doing what you're doing. So don't worry about who's selling what for what price. Worry about, does your business model work for you? My business model to start with was selling banana and banana enchi combos. I made enough money on those that I could buy another snake or two of another breeder for the next year. Then I bred 7 or 8 or 9 clutches, made a little bit of money on that, reinvested kind of deal. So for me, it was always, I had to have money coming in before I would have money going out. And they're still close friends to this day. And they're not wrong. They were just right for them. They weren't right for me. I have very good friends that always said, hey, you're going to miss out. You got to, 5 years ago, you should be spending your money on a sunset right now. It was right for them. I didn't have 10 grand to spend on a sunset or to get a deal at 6 grand. That wasn't the case. Just not, I don't know what people think of me, but that is not in my wheelhouse. However, now I am working things like a 4 codom visual clown hat monsoon that I hope gets to work. But I could tell you that money came in before it ever went out the door. So, to answer your question, the mistake I see is people trying to keep up with everybody else rather than looking at what resources do you have, what are you available and comfortable with, and what is going to be okay for you to go do. You can't take care of snakes if you're, homeless and you put yourself in debt and then mentally, so you're financially broke, mentally you're dissatisfied because you look around and you didn't accomplish what the algorithms don't show us is what everybody missed is the acid confusion that I can't get to eat that died. Nobody knew about that. They don't hear that stuff. And everybody thinks that it's just this wildly successful world out there when really we're all bumbling around, experimenting, testing, trying things out, figuring out what works for us as we get through life. And so only be responsible. Don't be a slave to social media as far as what other people are doing. If you want to do that to promote your own brand, by all means, grind and hustle and do everything you can to get ahead. But getting caught up in who's going to get rich and how you're going to buy a this many dollar animal and make that many dollar, there is a business aspect to it, but start with what you love because it's a long road to figure out. And I've only figured out one path. There's a million different paths. I know what worked for me and I can only share what worked for me.
Right, 100%. Hey, Adam, we're going to run off to a break real quick and then we'll be right back.
Cool.
Stay tuned.
Operation Deeds, Not Words 2 is dedicated to empowering and uplifting disabled veterans and first responders through unwavering support, meaningful resources, and real opportunities that honor their service and sacrifice. Our mission is to build a thriving, impactful organization driven by the shared vision, commitment, and accountability of our team, because when we work together, there is no ceiling on what we can accomplish.
We are equally committed to the growth of our team members, actively encouraging them to expand their voices, followings, and businesses as essential pillars of our mission. Being part of Operation Deeds, Not Words reflects great credit upon our members, uniting communities in the Fat Man Nation. Green Line morphs under a shared purpose rooted in service, resilience, and action-driven impact. Deeds, not words.
ReptileAds.com is the modern marketplace for buying and selling reptiles, amphibians, and exotic pets. Built by Purple Turtle Technologies, we're creating the most trusted platform in the industry. Join thousands of breeders and collectors on the most trusted reptile marketplace. List your animals, connect with buyers, and grow your business with Reptile Ads. Enjoy your easy access to stores as well as a genetic calculator for your convenience. Stop by and check us out today.
Side of ball pythons.
Sorry, man. We were both muted. I didn't hear any of that. I apologize, man.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. Now I can.
Okay, all right.
I was trying to tell you were muted, and then I looked down and saw I was muted. So we were both muted, talking to each other. So I didn't hear anything from the break forward. I'm sorry, man.
No worries. So we'll do those last 3 commercials 15 minutes before we wrap up the show.
Okay.
And, I wanted to ask you one more business question, and then I kind of wanted to jump into maybe your rodents and ask questions about that as well.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. So, how do you approach pricing? Are you playing the long game, or are you trying to move animals fast to keep things flowing?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay. here's my thought on that. I like talking in analogies because I'm unsure of myself, but the analogy that I'll make, I'm very sure of. So like the highest end steakhouses in America, and everything with me goes back to either music or food, my two like careers and passions.
Same here.
So the highest end steakhouses in America, almost invariably, they still have a very inexpensive wine by the glass, generally called White Zinfandel, that they sell. And the reason they sell it is because people like it and the profit margin is through the roof. I haven't purchased alcohol wholesale as a purveyor in about 6 years now. However, when I could buy, if I bought it by the case and I bought like 4 cases, I could buy Behringer White Zin for $4.25 a bottle, and I would sell it for $7 a glass. So, just do some quick math. I was spending $4.25 to generate $35 in revenue. Okay. So massive markup percentage.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. So not almost, bang on 900% profit markup. Now, my highest end wines, I was lucky to mark up 1.5 times on the very, very high end. I go through all that not because I want to make an alcohol lecture, but because sometimes you want to make bananas in volume and move a bunch of those so that you can afford to buy the breeder super gravel Kodam clown that is going to move you forward next year. Now, you can either write the check yourself for that banger of a female, or you can find your own version of your White Zinfandel that funds everything else. The White Zinfandel is what funds being able to buy the Wagyu or Kobe steak. It's what funds being able to buy all of those other vintage, high-end, $1,000 bottles of wine. That company needs cash flow, and the cash flow is White Zinfandel. So on that, I love banana clowns. I still think they're beautiful looking. I get chills talking about them. If you didn't tell me what price they were, I would say that they're some of the most beautiful animals that have ever existed on planet Earth. I don't care what their price is. They're amazing looking. So if they're amazing looking and I can get, for me, the sweet spot is if I could get between $300 and $500 for an animal, I will do that all day long. And I need to do like 70 to 80% of my business in the $300 to $500 range. 10% can be wholesale under it, and 10% can be the multi-$1,000 Ultramel clowns. And maybe I'll hit a cool visual monsoon, het clown, het acid. I'll make a little bit of money on that, but I'm going to hit 1 or 2 of those at best if this thing goes on a car ride, So like, don't be too proud to figure out how you're going to have White Zinfandel. Ruth's Chris has it. It's okay. Like I say, Morton's, the steakhouse, they have it. The Tinley Steakhouse, Primal Cut, they got it. Like,
that's amazing.
It's great, right? That's how I look at it. So short game, move animals, get the slam dunks. And here's the cool thing too. If somebody's buying a banana clown, that's like one level up from just a banana or a bell. Banana clown, like that person could actually breed that animal. And like if they got a good female banana clown, say you got a banana clown Enchi, you could put really cool clown combos to that in the future. You could buy a Cypress male in 2 years and then be like, this is a fun hobby. Let me make a
Cypress
Enchi banana clown in my first breeding year. Like that's a killer outcome, Like that's fertile ground for more people in the hobby, somebody who's going to come back to you to seek advice if you give them good advice in the first place, maybe buy that cypress male from you. Like I'm cool with that. That works for me. I'm not experienced at selling $5,000 to $10,000 snakes. I wish I was. I can't tell you how to do that. I'm a little scared of trying to do that, to be honest with you. But I still think it all stands true. If it's a beautiful animal that's sought after and able to reproduce some portion of what it is in the next generation, buyers are going to be very liable to want it. The less you have to explain about how cool a snake is, the easier it's going to be to sell.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That man. I don't know, man. Your analogy on the wine thing just hit spot on right there, bro. You freaking nailed it.
I mean, you talked about moving over to the rodents. It's the same thing, man. I mean, the profitability margin, if we could buy buyers and if the local laws allow you to flourish and there's a lot of ifs. And if you want to scrape rat poo all day, that's a big if too. But if you could produce them and you could sell them, the profit margin on rodents is quite nice, man.
When it's 60 cents to make a whole ass small, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. From Betty, look, I had rodent racks from ARS in a 900 square foot facility.
Yeah.
Boy, hey, the water line breaks, you got flood outs, you got, the AC went down, it's middle of summer, like mid-August, and you're like, oh my God, they're all gonna die.
Yeah, it's not without peril. And again, none of it's easy. None of this is a get rich quick. This isn't, rodents and white zen are how we paid the bills. That's not how we got rich. That's how we were able to go back to work the next day, kind of deal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't get, man. Like, I don't know if they're like that in your area now because you're producing your own, but I went to a couple of shows, man, and dudes had mediums for $10.
ASFs or rats?
Rats, Norwegians.
That's pretty expensive. They're not that much.
That's expensive.
But,
yeah.
Yeah. But I will say the local pet stores here, the reptile shops, they sell ASFs for $10. So when I mark my large ASF at $5 a pop, I look like a hero and I'm still making a lot of money, man. I mean, a 10 large ASF order is not uncommon. That's $50. And if you have somebody that will buy that from you every week, that's $2,500 a year. I don't ship. No, it's live only. And sorry, I got to give credit where it's due. For any frozen rodents, I refer everybody to Cold Blooded Cafe. I only sell live and I only sell ASFs. I don't breed mice or rats. So it's what I want for my needs, and I sell the extras, but I'm ramping up just because of how I can't meet the demand. And I'm thankful. I am thankful that those pet stores do charge those prices because it allows a window for me. If those pet stores, if those pet stores went down to $4 a rodent, I would only breed for my own needs. I'd stop selling. I couldn't compete with it.
Right. Yeah, we ain't even allowed to have live ASFs in the state of Missouri.
I know. That's why I was like, well, sometimes, there's business circumstances that are different for everybody. But yeah, that's a shame.
The only one thing I saw about those things is that you can get a permit from the state wildlife office, but they almost never, ever give one for an ASF.
Yeah, but then what happens? Like, who are you going to sell? Oh, you can only sell them frozen then, right?
Yeah, it'd be frozen. Definitely be frozen. But I mean, for me personally, I'd rather feed them to my snakes. I don't like feeding Norwegians to the snakes. I think they're just too much fat. Yeah,
here's my thing. I don't disagree with that. I just don't know enough. I haven't done any studies on and I haven't read any. I've done no research on it. I like it. They eat the ASFs. I'm good with them. They do well. I am highly allergic to rodents, and ASFs are the easiest on my allergies. So like mice and rats, you'll see me It's funny. Some of the rat breeders here, when I go check out their facility, like they laugh at me. They're like, "Oh, 10 minutes in, Adam's down." Like I'm done in a in a typical.
You wear a respirator, Adam?
Yeah, I do wear a respirator when I'm at my facility. If I go to somebody else's, I don't bring it.
Yeah.
But so I don't know about the body composition and stuff. However, I do like feeding. Like I feed a lot of frozen rats, Norwegians, because so if it's something I'm holding back and it's going to be mine, I generally only feed it live ASFs. If it's something I'm going to sell, I actually try and feed it frozen rats because that's what most buyers, would like to have, right?
Yes.
So those are my two avenues. But it's funny because people will ask me, "Well, hey, can you sell me frozen ASFs?" I've never frozen an ASF. I've never produced enough that I couldn't sell or couldn't feed. So I've never frozen an ASF.
Right. Yeah, it's a little bit of a process, man. If you make your little CO2 chamber just right, they just go right to sleep.
Right. What's funny though, as far as the process, the other thing I found is people expect to pay less for frozen ASFs than they do live. And I'm like, it's more work. Why am I going to do more work and take less money?
Hey,
I don't want to do that.
Getting a full tank, big full tank of CO2 is not cheap.
Yes, sir. I do know a little bit about that from from the restaurant days of kegs and kegerators. And yeah, man, it's all more money and more work. I don't need to do it. I don't want to do it. And I'm not going to take less money for it. See ya. Buy them from somebody. Let somebody else do that, man. Not me. Thank you.
Yeah. So you kind of answered the question I was going to ask. So I'm going to go to the next question. What's something about running a rattery that most people don't understand until they're actually doing it?
Well, the dust, I'll tell you that. Oof, man, the dust that rodents create. So rodents, by definition of them being called rodents, so rabbits, beavers, squirrels, rats, ASFs, they have to constantly gnaw because their teeth grow throughout their life. So they gnaw incessantly. They gnaw on their food. They gnaw on whatever piece of thing you put in their container for them to gnaw on. They gnaw on their container. They gnaw on their bedding. There is dust everywhere. Like you can't get away from it. And I have so much exhaust running through the facility. I have plastic curtains like a walk-in cooler in a restaurant would have, which separates the dust and some of the temperatures. And it does a good, actually, that's a useful hack. Like you guys could, if you have a problem with dust, put those things at the beginning, at the front of your door. It's like $30 you could buy online, but
worth the investment though.
Oh, big time. But keeping things clean is very, very difficult. And rodent math is exceptionally difficult. People will say like, I have X number of snakes. How many rodents do I need to be breeding? I'm like, man, I don't know. But what I do tell people that's an eye opener is, let's say you feed one snake a large ASF once a week. Here's, it's not easy, but let's just use that example. In an ASF that takes a long time to grow up, that's probably a 10-week-old ASF at a large, maybe 12. Let's just say 10 for easy math. That means you have to have 9 weeks worth of holdbacks behind that one for it to make sense for you to feed that snake that week and not plan to buy another ASF. Now multiply that by 10, 15, 20, 30, 100, 300 snakes that you have. Rodent math gets really, really weird because not only do you need to have those held back, you need to have them at the right size. If you have 9 hoppers for that, that means you got 8 weeks that snake isn't going to eat, or that you're going to have to find different food. Or here's what really happens. You feed 3 of your weans because you didn't have the large. Well, now you're missing out on the weans that were going to be larges in 5 weeks. It's bonkers. You need way more than you think you need is the answer. I don't know about rats and mice, but ASFs, you need way more than you think you need.
When I first started doing this, someone had told me to have a one female rat per female ball python.
That's the closest, best answer I've ever heard. And maybe more. Maybe you need like 1.5 just for insurance. But yes, yep, that's the closest I've gotten on it, and I agree with that.
Oh yeah, man. Let's see. Is there any advice you would give to someone who was thinking about starting to get into the ball pythons or into their own rattery? Is there any advice you'd give for either or?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, there's tons, I guess. Let me, one thing I didn't do that I thought I was kind of too proud for, or kind of turned my nose up at, and I didn't understand philosophically. And this is, forget that I have a Patreon. Join a Patreon. Don't worry about joining Proper Royals, or if you want to, fine. I'm grateful for it. This is not, but I'm saying my advice is not based on my product. My advice is the value, believe it or not, the value in a Patreon, in my opinion, is not the host or whose it is. It's their community. It's the group chat of 20, 40, 60, 100 people that are like-minded, excited, generally good people, because you get kicked out of the Patreon. If not, like, social media is the Wild West. Like, there's jerks all over the place. Patreon is, a sort of a gated community. If somebody is not cool and not living up to who they should be, they're going to get booted from the community. So it is a really kind of a cool filter. And the benefit is, again, hopefully whoever's hosting it has some good perks for you and some good access for you, or good deals, or whatever it might be. But it's making the most of who is in that Patreon. And the cool thing I've learned about just Patreons in general, but also like this community as a whole, almost everybody in it, with the exception of maybe like Antoine at DPR, Justin at Morph Jungle, most people have a career in something else. So like, I've benefited from knowing bankers that are ball python breeders. That's who has my mortgage right now. How cool was that? I know guys in construction that helped me frame out my facility that are reptile.
This monsoon for you, bank.
Yeah, like there's electricians, there's AC guys. There was an appliance tech, like he works on appliances. A breeder down in Florida is fantastic. Everybody in our community has expertise in something else. Like, I came from the restaurant world where we were all just experts on restaurants. That's all we ever talked about. Versus like here, you're going to need banking. You're going to need electrical help. You're going to need an AC. You're going to need to know how to drain or run plumbing or run PEX plumbing or whatever. Yeah, you're a farrier. There you go. Which, by the way, the whole Instagram farrier community, I don't know how I got into that algorithm, but watching farriers clean, those of y'all that don't know, farriers are horseshoers. They take care of hoofed animals' hooves. And watch it. There's farrier videos. There's like farrier Instagram. And I don't know how I ended up in it. And now I'll be back that I've said it 5 times out loud. But yeah. So like you just put me in it by saying it 5 times out loud. Yeah, exactly. Right. But the community of Patreon, you're going to have people that you're going to build trust with people. And when you produce your first clutch of 6 or your 3 clutches of 20, you're going to have an audience ready. You've been telling them about your pairings. They've been excited. You're excited. You're going to trade. You're going to sell. You're going to get pointers. Man, it's not, the host is wildly important. And I've heard that people like adore Will. I'm not in his, but Will at RCR's Patreon is just legendary. I every time I talk to him, I'm like, how am I not in this guy's Patreon? But the community that is in these Patreons that you can access for a few dollars a month, literally the price you pay for a Starbucks coffee or, whatever people's vices are, a glass of wine or a pack of smokes or whatever, you could do with one less of those a month and get access to that community. And you surround yourself with people who are going to be supportive, that are like-minded, and you're going to enjoy life rather than feeling all alone, left out. Cause it's hard work, man. That scraping rat poo sucks. Scraping ball python poo sucks. Thinking your animal's pregnant for 4 months and it doesn't do anything. Turns out it just was, just being a ball python sitting there. Like I've been there. We've all been there. We know that. So like, those are the people that are going to help you get through it. And that when the good results come, that are going to give you a higher high, rather than like you trying to explain to your fantasy football league buddies, dude, I hit a banana gravel Enchi clown. And they're going to be like, okay, cool. You're going to have people, you're going to have super gravel. You're going to have people excited with you. So I would say do that and just try and really like siphon down what's important to you. And then again, like I said earlier, on the other hand, stay out of the comparison trap, man. Yes, there's people doing better than you, but I guarantee you there's somebody looking up to you going, holy cow, that person is killing it for what they're doing. So don't block out the noise, man, and surround yourself with great people.
Man, I tell you what, we're gonna hit this last break, but man, I need to get with you on the backside when we're not dealing with the show. You got a lot of great information on you, man.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to share any of it anytime.
No. All right, let's get these last ones in, shall we? Mm-hmm.
Introducing the Python Portal, a ball python breeder who works on snow and true ghost combos as well as the Tiger Gene.
We also offer many unique custom 3D printed accessories, as well as custom merch, so don't forget to stop by and check us out.
The United States Association of Reptile Keepers is a science, education, and conservation-based advocacy for the responsible private ownership of, and trade in reptiles and amphibians. We endorse caging standards, sound husbandry, escape prevention protocols, and an integrated approach to vital conservation issues. Our goal is to facilitate cooperation between government agencies, the scientific community, and the private sector in order to produce policy proposals that will effectively address important husbandry and conservation issues. The health of these animals, public safety, and maintaining ecological integrity are our primary concerns.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I want to give a shout out to Will over at the Python Portal. He makes all of our ads and stuff, and
cool.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
he got me the hair up top, huh?
Yeah, bro. I mean, I don't know, man. I just thought I'd add a little bit more and make it look like the forehead.
You won't know that you won't know that I hit my favorite combos because I won't advertise it. But slowly my hair will come back one day because I'm going to be able to afford that crap one of these days, man. That's how you'll know. There'll be signs that I'm hitting my combos. Yeah, there'll be signs I'm hitting those odds, man.
Wow, that's great. So Adam, I got two more questions for you. One of them is a legacy question, and then the last one's just kind of a light little question to end the show.
Okay.
So when it's all said and done, what do you want the name Proper Royals to mean in the industry?
Man, I never really thought about that. I never thought anybody would think I meant anything in the industry. So if I mean anything, great. Look, I don't know. I've been the recipient in my life of gatekeeping and snobbery in many, many ways, whether whether it was from the cool kids in high school or whether it was from, the bartenders when I was a dishwasher, or whether it was from chefs that thought they were, owed something, that whatever, or musicians who thought I didn't have an expensive enough guitar, or ball python breeders who thought I was just playing games because I wasn't spending whatever, tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I hope I'm a place. I hope I set whatever is around me, a place where everybody's welcome. You got to be a decent person, and you can't, go undermining other people. But I hope that I'm a place where everybody's welcome. I hope that I'm a place where I'm transparent. Like, none of this is proprietary. Like, I don't. I'll tell you everything I'm pairing. If you could do it better than me, go do it better than me. And I'm not saying you can't. There'll be people that do it better than me, but it's not like any of this is like a patented private. I didn't invent any of this. I just worked hard. And so if people are like, "Hey, this dude did it, working hard, having fun, being true to himself, and not shutting other people out," I couldn't ask for anything more. That's all I've ever wanted, man. That's all I want. I'll produce some cool snakes. I hope people look back and go, man, I bought some really cool stuff from Adam that really got me a long way, and that would be cool. But really, I just hope people are like, man, that guy shared, that guy was honest, he was real, and I didn't have. I want people to be able to be themselves around me, whoever they are. You could be yourself around me. That's all I'm saying.
Awesome.
That's like my life's goal, man. That's all I want. And in life, man. So it's the same.
That was a great answer, man. That was a great answer. This is the last question I'll ask you.
All right.
So be real with me. What's worse, getting slugged out on a clutch that you were hyped about, or walking into the rodent room knowing you got to clean the whole facility that day?
Oh, the slugs are way worse. I got to clean the whole facility every week, man. That's 52 times a year. The slugs are way worse, man. I got to wait 52 weeks until I get another shot at that. Oh, the slugs are the awfulest, man. The worst. Terrible, man.
It's terrible.
That's right. hurt you in your heart and your soul, like just like I'm not mad, but damn, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, man. I've had my first clown clutch ever. I ended up going up to Tinley for the first time with my younger daughter, and when we came back, the whole clutch was gone.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. I was I guess there was some kind of spike in the incubator while I was gone.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. Well, you live and you learn, right?
You do. And you asked me earlier what I would tell people starting out. I had to learn this in just in my career and my life and in business as well. But you can only control what you can control. You almost have to take a stoic approach to things of nothing's as good as it seems. Nothing's as bad as it seems. Control what you can control, one foot in front of the other, and you got to move on. And, but it does suck. Oh man, I'm not dismissing it. I'm just saying you got to, however people do, figure out how to cope with it healthily. But it is, that sucks, man.
Sucks. All right. So, Adam, I know you said it earlier in oh man, I can't talk today. I can't speak. Earlier in the podcast, how can people get a hold of you? How can they get in touch with you? How do they get on your Patreon? Go ahead and plug it there.
I should have plugged this earlier, but properroyals.com will get you directly to me. All my inventory is on there, even stuff that's not on Morph Market. It's all on properroyals.com. So check that out. But I'm really active on Instagram is probably the easiest platform as far as messaging and connecting. It's so easy on Instagram. You don't have to memorize an email address or anything. So Instagram's great. And then what I didn't mention is every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, Proper Royals Live. If you like what you heard tonight, this is the kind of content that I enjoy, and I have guests on and I learn from, and people have mentored me for almost 5 years now. August will be 5 years of Proper Royals Live. So hope people check that out if you haven't. And then Thursday morning is a fun kind of departure. It's called Proper Cup of Joe. My buddy and I, named Joe, we sit down. He does not breed snakes. He knows nothing about snakes. And the whole genesis of the idea for the show was every time somebody's like I'll be at like say I'm at a social event with my wife and people are like, oh, I'm so and so. I'm like, oh, I'm Adam. Nice to meet you. And they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, here we go. I breed ball pythons. And then it's like the whole night of questions. And that's what like the premise of Proper Cup of Joe is. So we've been at that 2.5 years. So anyhow, they're pretty fun. I hope people will come hang out on those. And again, come participate. That's all. Just be a part of it. I hope so. properroyals.com, Instagram, there, and then those two shows are on YouTube, and I have a traditional YouTube channel or YouTube videos on my channel. It's all one channel. There's not multiple channels on YouTube. So, but traditional videos.
Absolutely. Well, Adam, we really do appreciate you coming on tonight and giving us your time. And
my pleasure, man.
Time is very precious. This is the only thing we spend without knowing how much we really have in the bank.
True words have never been spoken, man. I won't break anybody's hearts, but I lost my mother way before time, and you're exactly right, man. Make the most of every second you possibly can.
Sorry for that loss, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So hey, make sure y'all tune in on Monday night. We are gonna have Tarantulas After Dark. Kat will be doing it every Monday, the first Monday of the month. So make sure y'all come tune in for that. She's got some great educational stuff about tarantulas. Come check it out and not be so scared anymore. I've got 3 already. It's like freaking Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. I've got 3 tarantulas in my house, and I had arachnophobia for years. So you guys tune in, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night, homies.